Alright everybody, we're back, really back this time. This time I'm gonna go and stream for the next however long it takes. So I'm still on my way to the Westfields Marriott, and it's, I don't know, it's not that far, that much farther. But it's been a crazy ride. I think you guys are crooked. Hold on a second here. There we go. So I had to get a new cord to connect to my battery. Okay, great. Thank you, Bearish Trader. That's good to know. Okay, so on our way to the Westfields Marriott, the Bilderberg protest is still going on. Occupy Bilderberg 2012. Even in this horrible weather, it's got to be, I don't know, it feels really warm. It's got to be in the mid-70s here, and it's pouring rain. There's thunder and lightning and a tornado watch for the area. So the protesters that are there, you just get an idea of their dedication. Oh, there's another lightning flash. You get an idea of their dedication to letting the world know that world leaders are meeting behind closed doors in secret, and mainstream media isn't covering it. And I think that's the whole point. So we have to be there. I know Luke Radowski from We Are Change has been streaming earlier today. I was watching a little bit of his stream when I was on my way here. But we have refueled and gotten the gear we needed that was necessary, and we're back. Tomorrow is going to be a huge day, for those of you that don't know, because a lot of people can get the day off of work and school. There's going to be expected to be a huge turnout tomorrow. So if you are around, definitely stay tuned for that. There's going to be actions not only in the sort of mid-morning to early afternoon, but there's also going to be some actions at night. So I'll be bringing all my gear tomorrow and be ready to stream under the cover of darkness. They do have some lighting outside the center, so we might be able to utilize some of that. But yeah, if you're just joining us, I'm on my way back to the Marriott where the protest is going on. A lot of people broke for lunch. We saw quite a few protesters at the local Subway and other food spots that are nearby. So yeah. Whoa, most sketch thing ever was when the military guy got arrested and said he was vaccinated. That is really scary. I did not see that story. So, according to Damask Portland, who I hope has checked her sources thoroughly, one of the guys who was arrested yesterday was actually a military veteran. He was arrested for basically being on the sidewalk, or being off of the sidewalk. One of the younger man, I'm not sure if it was the younger man or the older man who was the military veteran, but either way, the one who was the vet said that he was vaccinated when he was taken down. Okay, so 20 minutes ago, Luke, We Are Change on, his channel is We Are Change on Ustream, got an interview, so that's great. I'm glad he was there to get that information. That's, it's not even legal, as far as I know, to have a forced vaccination. Especially under the circumstances of, usually jaywalking isn't even a TB test. Why would they test you for tuberculosis if you were, okay, let's back up here. From what I understand, crossing the street against the light, or, you know, being in the street is an infraction. It's not a crime. It's something that is punishable by a fine, but it's not punishable by jail time. So the fact that he was cuffed, put in the back of the car, and taken to somewhere to be processed is unusual. And then, I mean, depending what they charged him with, so I suppose, but really they'd have to be stretching the truth quite a bit to charge him for anything unusual. Anything besides jaywalking. Groped and probed. Well, groping, I can imagine they might pat you down for weapons or something like that. Probing is a whole nother, yeah. I don't know how to even feel about that. That's not okay. God. Sky, have you heard about the guy who was arrested? Apparently he was, I don't know, I had one report that said he was vaccinated, the other one said it was a tuberculosis test given to him. This is like arrest. Yeah, the one, well, yesterday, the military vet. And then they said that he was groped and probed. I don't even know what that means, but Luke got an interview with him, so we'll have to go ask what that story was all about. Oh man, it is raining cats and dogs, guys. We're gonna be walking into the rain right now, so you have to excuse my umbrella while I put it down a bit because the rain is blowing this direction. Yeah, definitely. He was a vet too. Yeah, it looks like the guy who was a veteran. Does anyone know the name of the man who was a veteran? Because I believe it was Eric, and that would mean it was the older gentleman. Whereas the younger gentleman, I never got a confirmation on his name. So if anybody knows the names of the people that were arrested yesterday. It is cats and dogs out here, guys. Just crazy. It was a younger guy. Okay, good to know. So does anyone have a confirmation on his name? Because we were actually trying to find him yesterday and get a hold of, holy moly, Bilderberg arrest. Willing to share video, pictures, or testimony. Please send email to Bilderberg2012 at whitestonepublishing.org. So that's good to know for anyone driving by that was either here yesterday or saw, for whatever reason, the arrest. Said he was from Oregon. Oh my God. It's the guy from Oregon, the young guy that got arrested yesterday. He's the veteran that was probed and tested for tuberculosis. That's so sketch. Why would they test you for TB when you're getting a jaywalking ticket? You don't even usually get processed for that sort of thing. It's a fine, right? And that guy couldn't have been arrested for, like, maybe the older guy they could have charged with like disobeying an officer, you know, some charge similar to that. But the younger guy really only stepped off the sidewalk once, was crossing, was almost hit by that van, and then they took him into custody. So that's crazy and not okay either. It's not okay for them to do that to anyone. This is crazy. It's archived. Now we are changing the topmost vid. Okay, great. 38 minutes in. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell just how hard it is raining right now, but there are little rivers going down the street next to me. Woo! I'm gonna keep the feed going. Try not to get my camera wet. I do have a backup camera that's waterproof. It can even do some underwater filming, so I feel safe filming in these conditions, but this is miserable. I don't know if you can see just the dedication of these people hanging out. I mean, you can't stay dry in this kind of weather. I am soaked from my waist to my feet right now. Just some pretty brave patriots out in this weather. Oh man. Woo. Soaked through.
Hey, loud, they're like, whatever. Hey, Mike.
Oh, goodness. So even with this crazy weather going on, and this is during the lunch break, there are many, many people here still. Hey, good.
Don't do it to me.
Oh, yes, yes.
It sounds like if you've got a bullhorn, the water is getting in the way of the sound. Excuse me. What's that? Oh, good. How are you guys? Oh, man. So look at this. Look at this dedication. This is how much we would like this to be publicized. Look at this. Hey, guys. Look at these dedicated people. Young and old, every race and creed. Look at this. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. JFK, and this is being used to hold this big piece of plastic up while it is coming down, you guys. I mean, I live in Portland, Oregon, one of the rainiest places I know, and I haven't seen a storm like this in years. Look at this. All these people. This is the Oath Keepers tent, and it wasn't quite this popular yesterday. There's Luke, we are changed, filming in this crazy weather. The dedication of streamers and sign makers and artists and just the everyday protesters. People trying to find some refuge anywhere they can. There's a sign being used as an umbrella. This is some intense weather. I want to do a shout out to the guy who gave me this giant umbrella for free at a gas station. He is my good Samaritan of the day. Last night we got a ride home from two protesters here. They are my my good Samaritans of yesterday. So if you guys can see, I've got an umbrella here that's probably like twice the size of a normal one, and it's been really great. Yes, it is very similar to UK weather, except it's very, very warm right now. The difference is that it's probably like in the mid 70s right now. Like, it's extremely warm. And it just comes in bursts like that. But there's a tornado warning for the entire area, so hopefully that does not happen. I'm scared of tornadoes. Me not like tornadoes. The very idea, I've actually never been around a tornado, but look at this. NWO. Oh man. Oh man. So there's not a police presence like there was yesterday right now. Probably because of the crazy weather, they don't like getting soaked through their little undies either. So for right now, it looks like they're setting up a little tent to try to keep groups of them dry. Putting on the old rain slicker over the cop gear. Oh, that's a good parking job. I tell you, since I've been here, I've seen some of the greatest parking jobs ever by police. Yeah, there's some feedback coming from the bullhorns since they got wet. So, whew. And this is just the lunch break, guys. Actually, we called it the lunch break because we stream so late in the evening, but it's really around dinner time here. But yeah, they are little softies. The minute the rain starts, they all scatter and go in their cars. It's funny because from how few Fairfax County Police like to hit women.
Police officers are stumped for dragging a defenseless female on the ground. You fucking traitors, hiding underneath a little tent in a tree. You guys must be real men hiding, traitors.
Can you give us some information about what you just said?
Yes, I just called the Fairfax County Police officers. I'll get under your umbrella.
Yeah,
the Fairfax County Police officers, I called them traitors and scum for what they just did a little bit ago. I guess I was next to the female who was dragged on the ground by the police officers, and I was told she was a reporter from the American Free Press. And if that's the case, I hope she sues these bastards for all their worth.
Did you see the beginning of the altercation?
Oh, yeah, I was right there with her on the whole thing.
So what precipitated her being nabbed by the police?
She just... That's what she did. She had a air horn, pushing the air horn right in front of the police officer. The officers were very upset, so two of them just grabbed her and they were dragging her on the ground. She started kicking, trying to get away, so three more officers, it was like a gangbang. They just jumped on top of her, holding her on the ground, dragging her, and I don't know where she is.
So was she taken into police custody after that?
Yep, she's under Fairfax County Police custody.
So what you did just now, putting on the air horn part of that bullhorn, was what precipitated her?
Yeah, she had the old-fashioned air horn, push the button.
And they didn't just calmly walk over and cuss her?
No, they were very aggressive towards her. It was like a snatch and grab. They were very, they were looking for someone to arrest.
That's really disturbing. So you heard it here. The police are making their presence known violently at times.
You guys are nothing more than traitors, Fairfax County Police.
Some angry people here. I would be angry too if I had witnessed something like that.
They're twisted, yeah, all that mushy power is twisted.
Yeah.
They love doing evil. They love doing evil.
I didn't want to bring on that house.
Be careful.
All right, I'm gonna set up my my mic or my monopod here so I can stop holding it up so high.
Slow down. Hey, what'd you say?
Okay. Woo! Sorry about that. Oh man, I just soaked my camera. Hopefully you guys can still see. Alright, cool. Alright.
Yeah, are you guys women bashers? Do you guys hate female journalists? Do you guys hate the fact that a female journalist used a bullhorn against you?
That's really scary. I'm a female journalist, and I certainly would not want to be dragged to the ground and be mobbed by multiple officers for a non-violent act.
Dragging females on the ground. I hope you guys laugh about this to your fucking grave. You guys all make me sick to my stomach. Make sure you're looking at the
Did anybody else see the incident that happened with the journalist?
Yes, we saw it.
Can you tell me what happened?
A young lady, there were several people along the curb here blowing bullhorns and making noise, and a cop came up. He got a little angry, threw a little hissy fit. He was all like, yeah! Tried to grab the air horn out of her hand. She sprayed it in his face. He grabbed her, slammed her. He got assistance. They dragged her over behind that pickup truck. I don't know if it was the same pickup truck, actually.
So just to be clear, what she did was set off the air horn and near him.
She was doing what everyone else was doing. He started getting in her face, and then he just got pissed and grabbed it. He's got footage of it.
Okay.
Not very good, but a little bit.
Yeah, anything is great.
It was assault. I guess it could be argued that perhaps the air horn was a form of assault as well, but everyone was blowing air horns. Everyone was making noise.
He came up to her.
They approached from all the way over there, and then he grabbed the air horn.
And when she was grabbed by police, what happened? Did they just take her and cuff her hands and walk her away calmly,
Yeah,
or what?
they slammed her. She was.
When you say slammed her, did she hit the ground, or what happened?
They threw her on the ground forcefully. I'm not sure if they slammed
So they threw. But she was thrown to the ground.
Yeah, and there were 5 officers on top of her.
Wow.
1 or 2 had a knee on her, and they were wrenching her arms up behind her. I mean, she was 110 pounds maybe. Like, she was
Okay,
a
so
tiny girl.
tiny girl. And prior to this, was she seen doing aggressive things like
Not at all. No, she was standing
intimidating
right here
or
on the
threatening
curb.
anyone? Nothing like that.
No, she was on the curb with the air horn, and they came onto the curb and pulled her off of it, and then dragged her that way.
Yeah. So we have multiple eyewitnesses to this, all telling the same story.
Yeah,
Female journalist.
There was nothing
Had their-
professional about it. You could see the look in his face. He was just lost control and thought he'd reach out and grab this girl's air horn. She may have jerked back a little, instinctively, something like that.
I would too if I had someone swinging at me, regardless of a badge or no badge. Protect yourself. That's really scary. Does anyone know the guy who was arrested yesterday? Is he still one of the men arrested? The younger guy? Okay, I'll try to look for him.
There's a guy that got arrested down there earlier today.
Today, yeah.
Did you get
He's
that?
still no. Do you want to talk about that? We had one arrest earlier today.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was this guy that was just this kid or whatever that was out in the street a little too far when we were up against the fence protesting. And the kid was just out in the street, like, that's all, like, not even far. Like,
Okay, so from here, if this were the sidewalk there.
It was only like a foot from the curb, that's it. Like,
Okay, so for what you're doing right now, he got arrested.
That's it, he was right here. I have the whole thing on, I have the whole footage from beginning to end, I'll send it to you.
Great, excellent.
Yeah.
I would love that.
But yeah, they all came down, they all gripped him up, were really rough with him, took him away, and then the cops lined up along the street, I guess, maybe for any kind of resistance that they thought might have been coming, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just for doing that, crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then one person was like, one guy said, confronted the cops and said, what are you going to do if we all step out on the street? As soon as that was said, cops left. Very interesting.
Yeah,
so,
that is
I have that
interesting.
footage. I don't know how. I'll get it to you.
Yeah, excellent. Absolutely.
Yep, that's just about it, though.
Man, you're pretty hardcore here in
I
the
don't
shorts
even-
and the t-shirt,
I don't even care.
soaked to the bone.
It just reminds me of being a little kid out in the summer rain. So
There you go.
whatever.
Yeah, it's so warm here.
Yeah, that's
I've
what I'm
never
saying. I
been
don't
in
mind.
this warm of rain.
Yeah. Oh, you said you're from Oregon, right?
Yeah, I'm from Portland. When it's pouring like this, it's usually in the 40s or 50s.
Oh, really? Wow. So you don't get this one to hold that? You need to do
Could you
something?
actually grab that?
Oh.
that I
You don't want to litter.
Yeah, I know,
Christ.
right?
I don't know, maybe you can say you witnessed it if I show you a little bit of footage.
Hey, let's look together, guys. If you can see.
I got it late. My
this
friend
here.
got the guy actually grabbing her air horn, but
Okay.
if you can see, they got her over there in front of the truck,
Oh yeah.
and there's about five
Oh my God.
cops on her. They got her shirt
They've
pulled
got-
up.
He's got his knee on her back.
Right. So there it
Okay,
is.
So you're watching the arrest that happened of the female journalist earlier, mobbed by at least 5 police there.
Yep.
They've got her face down on the ground.
And then they dragged her off into the den of thieves.
Ugh. I wonder what they're going to do tomorrow when the big event happens, when there's, possibly thousands of people down here. I hope they don't, I hope everyone stays peaceful. When I was on my way here, I just heard there's a tornado warning for the whole area.
Yeah.
You can see the guy's
Excited.
face as he's grabbing it.
Is that common around here?
I don't know. I'm from New Jersey.
Okay,
Yeah.
me neither.
Yeah.
I've never been in a tornado warning zone before.
I mean, down the road because I just got here like a little bit ago and it wasn't even raining.
I know, right? And
Weird,
just
right?
started
Just over this
cats
area.
and dogs.
I mean, I hear these high-tech weather modification systems.
Yeah.
I know in like 1967 to 72, they had Operation Popeye where they were modifying the weather to cloud seeding.
Yeah, see the clouds.
Where they extended the monsoon season. So I forget what country they did it over, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, using weather as a weapon in different
I wouldn't be
ways.
surprised.
As an economic
just try to
weapon.
flush them out, like just put rain over top. But it doesn't seem realistic. I mean, effective nonetheless. A lot of people dispersed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Still, I'm surprised at and impressed at how many people are still here.
Yeah.
With this kind of weather, there's like
I'll tell you what.
There's that whole line of people all the way down to the end of there.
This was nothing. The Ron Paul rally I went to in Philadelphia recently.
Oh yeah.
Listen, it was freezing out there. This is nice. Like I could do cartwheels in this weather. This was nice. The Ron Paul rally, and it was like warm, like a couple days after and a couple days before. But just that day, temperatures just happened to drop. There was like 4,000 people out there.
Wow, dedication.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how much we love Ron Paul in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of the rallies have been really big all over. So. Yeah.
Where's the target?
Oh man, those emergency ponchos that I left at home.
That was right. That guy in the blue, that was Mark Dice.
Mark Dice, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just didn't recognize him in a blue poncho.
We need to get a picture with these guys, but like they're like phantoms. They come in and out. Like 1 second they're here and then the second they're gone. I'm just like.
Yeah. So what was the name of his book?
Big Brother, The Orwellian Nightmare.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like a little more than a quarter of the way through, and I was a paranoid person before. I mean, now I'm really paranoid. Somebody was actually mentioning that over there, being a...
Yeah, it's a solar-powered camera, basically.
Yeah, who knows what kind of software is built into it. Biometric face scanning, I'm assuming.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
I heard a technology that can scan a crowd of occupiers, even all moving, and have all their faces identified. Probably in a minute or so. So I mean, that's crazy.
Oh yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah, the facial recognition software's been out for quite a while. They've started to use it for a lot of things now.
Yeah, license plate readers.
Yeah.
And then I just saw yesterday, because I was going to ask them, but I was like, let me just Google it first.
Yeah.
Lip reading cameras.
Oh yeah.
Got a big umbrella.
Good times. I was gifted this at the gas station by a Good Samaritan.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go.
So it was. He's my Good Samaritan of the day. I didn't even catch his name. I just helped him. I held his umbrella over him while he was changing the washer fluid in his car. And then he was like, "Do you want this?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, yes, please." Thank you.
I actually brought one and left it in the hotel room. I'm like, who cares?
That's an awesome
Oh man, it is sturdy, big time. It's doing pretty good. Have you ever been tornado warning weather before?
No.
Me neither.
Should be interesting.
Yeah.
See what happens.
It doesn't feel like the tornado's going to come anytime soon.
No, but it didn't feel like it was going to rain earlier necessarily.
And then all of a sudden. Yeah, strange, man.
Good times. So, I guess a bunch of people are supposed to be coming back around 7?
I think so,
Yeah. Ooh, here we go. We got another car coming in or coming back in. We're not sure here.
It's hard to tell if there's somebody in the back.
Yeah. Well, they have like opaque windows, so very difficult to tell. Oh my gosh. So if you're just joining us, I see quite a few more viewers. We are live in Chantilly, Virginia at the Westfields Marriott, where the Bilderberg meeting is going on. Quite a few dedicated protesters out here in the pouring rain and tornado warning. Still bullhorning the police. There were 2 arrests made today. One of a young man who'd barely stepped off of the sidewalk into the street, and another of a journalist that was using a bullhorn, like these people here, and a police officer came up and tried to take the bullhorn, and then I guess about five the cops sort of jumped on top of her and arrested her. I did get to see some of the footage that someone got on their camera, a replay of her being arrested, and the police had her face down, and she was a very petite girl, face down on the ground, and one of the officers had his knee on her back. He was leaning on her while they cuffed her. So. The testimony that I'm hearing from the people that saw the vet, give his account of what happened after he was arrested, that's really disturbing.
That guy over there, he's just chilling. He just gets to sit and play with fucking board all night.
Whacking off.
Who knows what he's doing over there?
Probably whacking off.
I mean, that's sweet. Like, all right, you're just going to sit outside and just, watch them.
Every 5 minutes he has to get the binoculars up.
Just go sit out there.
It's binocular time.
Probably not even anybody in there.
She's allowed to scream and fight. You're not supposed to abuse her. She's a citizen. You can be illegal and arrested. That's still not right.
They're vaccinating everybody they arrest. They're vaccinating everyone they arrest. Yep.
Attention officers, are you guys vaccinating every people you arrest? Well, you guys won't answer to us because we're just city slaves. But if you guys aren't doing that, that's a
They're
shame.
giving TB shots.
They like buttholes.
They're giving TB shots to everybody that the one military guy, all in black, that was arrested, was given a TB shot at the police station. Yep. He's got the shot mark in his arm.
And that was against his will? Do you know?
I believe I wouldn't take it.
Of course it was, but are you sure that really happened?
I've heard reports of that, and he gave some testimony earlier today about maybe
an hour ago.
Luke Rudowski got it on film where he was talking about how he was given a shot and it made him feel ill.
Yep.
And I heard
that is bullshit.
yeah, I heard it was a tuberculosis test. But I'm trying to find him so I can interview him as well. I mean, the more people that know what's going on, the better.
Yeah, that definitely has to make it.
Yeah, that has to be addressed because normally when you jaywalk, you receive a citation. You don't even get booked and all the rest. And then in addition to that, to get vaccinated or get a TB test, that's not normal and it's not okay in my opinion. So. Yeah, that's scary, and especially with that female journalist being nabbed and arrested as well. That's kind of scary stuff.
Yeah.
Watching 5 officers jump on top of her.
Did you guys get?
Did anybody get? Country is turning into hell.
Yeah, I just watched. Neither. A gentleman just showed me on his little camera. He got her being arrested, but I don't know if anyone got that. But I got to watch about 5 officers mob her, and they had their knees on her back. And yeah, she was like smaller than me. Like she was not a threatening type of person, it looked like. I mean, easily one of them could have overpowered her physically, so there was no need for that kind of force. Okay, so thank you. One of my viewers just linked the URL to the video of the vet giving his account of what happened.
What's your website?
I'm Ustreaming right now, so I'm Occupy PDX News. It's ustream.tv/channel/Occupy PDX News.
Cool.
It's a shame. Look at that cute little officer over there laughing.
So yeah, multiple reports of that young journalist, female journalist, being arrested for using a bullhorn, thrown on the ground. I got to see her arrest recorded, where she was on the ground, face down, with 5 or 6 officers immediately around her, and many more just around that. One of them had his knee in her back. as she was being cuffed. And then the gentleman who was arrested yesterday, I would like to find him. Someone's gonna have to point him out. I don't know if I'd recognize him just right away, but accounts that he was either vaccinated or given some tuberculosis test of some kind while at the station. It'd be also interesting to hear what, if you guys could watch the video and let me know. Migraine and vomited right after the shot. That's not good. If you could tell me what he was charged with also, it'd be interesting for us to know here, because nobody seems to know what he was actually charged with. If anything, he may have been released.
1% of boxes are like very docile.
Yeah, you too.
A lot of soldiers suffer, man.
She moved down to Florida. She got her own boat.
I'm trapped for 10 more months. That's why I said it would be interesting. You know,
Yeah, she's
so good. Being soldier and being used like a protest.
Oh boy.
That's it. They tried to run me off all the charges here in Fort Lee. I was trying to back home. I'm attached to the National Guard, but I fall under the government of orders. 72. I fall under the government.
Wait a minute. Sir, are you?
Oh, no, I mean, I think, yes. We're in the military right now, yeah.
Sir, are you the gentleman that was arrested yesterday? One of them? Would you mind being on film and telling us what happened? Okay, so this is the gentleman. If you wouldn't mind just giving us your name, your first name, if you're not.
My name is Garrett.
Garrett. And what happened to you yesterday?
Yesterday, the charges now that are being brought against me, there are 3 misdemeanor charges. They stem in this order. The police officer that came in told the magistrate here, which is supposed to be a checks and balances system, but really is just a way for the police officers to bring you in unconstitutionally and give you no rights. The first charge against me is impeding obstruction of a vehicle, which everybody knows that every single vehicle here made it into the conference yesterday.
Okay,
every
so
vehicle.
the first charge was?
In obstructing a vehicle, impeding a vehicle from entering the premises. That's my first charge. The next charge is going to be, as I'm stepping back, and I do have it on videotape, much everybody else from different angles has it,
I have it as well.
I was told that, the magistrate was told by the police officer that I stood there, disregarded the order to move from in front of the vehicle. They had to physically move me. Once they did that, I resisted arrest, but because they're going to be nice to me, instead of resisting arrest, they're going to get me for disorderly conduct.
So that's the story.
That is the second charge that I was charged with last night. And to continue that, as I'm being drug away, 2 different officers, whoa, smell that alcohol? They start, that's that crowd, dropping the hints into the crowd. That starts the Jones effect. It's long been used. You say one thing in a crowd at one end, the telephone game brings it down to the other end. Pretty soon, hey, you remember that drunk guy that got arrested yesterday? That story didn't make it here today.
So what was the actual story? What actually happened?
That's what exactly happened was I was going back and forth between the crosswalk, corner to corner. Every time I would do so, I was filming, just talking. I did not have a bullhorn, anything of the sort. Just yelling, hollering at them, recording. Another vehicle, every time a vehicle was to come up, wow, that got me.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Another vehicle was to come up, I chose right then to cross the road. What I was told at that point is that if you block any vehicles from entering the conference, you're going to be arrested. I kept moving, and I was walking backwards at the time.
Yeah.
And don't walk backwards.
Oh, okay.
I was walking backwards, then again, corner to corner, every car that came in. The last car, what happened was, there was a 3-car convoy. I got to the 3rd one, the whole crowd came out, right around, we were all getting our pictures. I stepped around, got my shot in the side. As soon as I did that, the other 2 guys that almost got hit by that same vehicle jumped back, they went around to the right, and I'm still filming, and I didn't realize it yesterday until I watched the video last night, or 2 this morning, that as soon as I stepped back, I had nobody I thought half the people were behind me, there was nobody behind me. Classic snatch and grab, militarized technique. Isolate one, pick them off, and what happens, even on my videotape from the other videotapes, you see the gentleman come out and the sergeant, I'm backing up, he's telling people, again, you need to get across the road. I go, sir, I'm moving. You can visibly tell I'm moving just fine. He looks over his shoulder. You see the one guy that we have plenty of pictures of who is not a cop. No police officer in the world stands like that ready to shoot somebody for no reason. Because all the other cops aren't standing like these other fellows that have the earpiece, no name tags, and they're holding their weapons constantly. That man is posted up. You see him? I saw the other guy posted up again through the video, not in real time because I'm looking through my camera. The police officer then looks over his shoulder, sees those two gentlemen are in place. 10:15. 4 officers swarm on me and scoop me up, throw me in the car, and take me off to jail where subject to grabbing of the genitals, thumb in the anus, you name it. There's no reason to have 5 pat downs. I understand the pat down here. I understand it. I understand the pat down when you get to the premises. What I don't understand is the pat down under supervision the entire time, under lockdown. Why the 3rd pat down required after I was instructed how the pat down would go down. The back of the hand, back of the thigh, back of the hand, inside of the thigh, no invasiveness. He palms from underneath down, grabs my genitals, pulls down, then gives me a shove with the thumb. You know, after that guy steps away, another officer, for whatever reason, says, "Oh, we'll give you another one. I didn't see you. I didn't see you get patted down." So he pushes me against the wall. Once again, I get the underneath genital, and that he got a hold of me, and I pushed back. You know, he got it's a natural reaction. As soon as I did that, he pushed my hips forward, and he went forward over the top and did. Like, oh, I thought I felt something. He knows what he felt. He knows exactly what he did. I go over, I get my forced inoculation. This right
So what
here,
happened? They took a needle and stuck it into your arm, and
Right
you were
here.
okay.
right here. That's a TB shot for absolutely no reason.
Camera here. It's hard. Here, let me get let me actually just zoom in. It's a lot easier for me to do that. Yeah, here. Oh, I got it. Oh, hey, thanks. All right, so we're gonna zoom in here. If you can see that mark there is red, and I can tell you from me being here in person, it is definitely a mark that you would get when you have a shot or you're inoculated. Okay, so oops, there's my second camera. So what did they tell you that did they ask you if you were submitting to this inoculation?
She told me I had to take it. I said, do I have to? And she said, well, no, you don't have to, but then we're going to put you in that cell by yourself. You won't be able to bond out because you're not going to receive a phone call. You won't be able to speak to any legal representation. You'll see the judge in the morning. Then we're going to put you back in that room till your court date, which I believe, and she didn't have the court date, but it's July 11th. So they were going to put me in a cell, supposedly, by myself. Again, that's when the cameras are gone. They barely had any cameras in there anyway, but I had no choice. I said, I am not submitting to this. I put my arm out. I would not watch. I said, I am not submitting to this. I do not want this to happen. Bink, she gets me.
Did they tell you what it was?
TB.
A tuberculosis test?
Tuberculosis test, saying that she was going to be somehow able to read it right then, which a nurse here has already said.
It takes several days. I've had 2 tuberculosis tests because I had to volunteer at a hospital, and they told me it takes several days for those results to come through.
And I just learned that today. I knew that last night just by the way I was being, you know when you're being lied to. You know exactly when something's going on that shouldn't be. It's a moral right and wrong that all of us have. After she sticks me, it's 30 seconds before I taste whatever that was on my tongue. The other gentleman arrested with me can vouch for this 100%. He saw it immediately. I was gagging.
Wait, so the other gentleman arrested was also vaccinated or given this tuberculosis test?
Yes, he was.
Wow.
He was. Again, he's been around. You'll see him in the Ron Paul shirt. Eric Clark, another patriot. Good man yesterday. Did his best he could, but they tortured a 55-year-old. They didn't molest him. They came after me for that business. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't see anything, but they kept us separated for a reason. That's the best tactic they can do, is isolation.
So you tasted something on your tongue after the vaccination?
I've had plenty of shots from the military before. Metallic, like I was licking metal, like I licked some silver. You know, like a nickel. If you were to still lick like a nickel, that same kind of taste. Within 5 minutes, I have a titanium plate here, here, and here. My eye begins to pound in a way. I get migraines once in a while. Nothing like this ever before. It literally was shutting me down. They asked me to move, and when I stood up, I'm dry heaving. Sir, can I get some water? No. You can't have any water. This is 3 hours into from time being to time here. Can I just get some water? I don't feel very well right now. Okay, come here. Puts me against the wall yet again for yet another pat down. This is after the TB, the so-called, my DNA, whatever they injected me with yesterday, because she told me they weren't going to inject me with anything. It was a choice of two evils yesterday. Do I make the phone call to get out of here, or do I sit in a cell by myself contemplating what's gonna happen to me if I stay in here any longer? At least if I get out after this, I got a shot at protecting myself or not being poisoned somehow.
So what was the reason that they said that they were going to keep you in the cell?
If I did not take this shot, I would not be offered a phone call, I would not be offered any legal representation, and I would sit in a cell by myself. Yep, I was told I could not make any phone call to any lawyer. I could call the bondsman.
They didn't tell you why that was the case.
Nope, they took away my every right. They know that I'm from Oregon. Everyone I would need to call, how do you make the call? You have to do it collect where they can listen in. I didn't want to jeopardize anybody at the house. I called one person. I had them take care of it. And that, again, that's just adding another person to the system who you call for help. But it got me out at midnight. It got me to where I could record everything in detail on paper. And here we are today.
Are the videos up right now? I know I have some of your arrest, but I was not close enough to hear the audio. So
yeah, a couple people. Again, I haven't been doing any. I've just been trying to network. That's all I've been trying to do from this point on is get everybody's information. Put the billboard down there, a ginormous billboard for a reason. Get everything. I'm gonna have a pen and paper before I leave here. Just give me everything you have. Anything about the arrest. They're trumped up charges. We already know that. I'm not worried about it. What I don't want is I already know that the man that was grabbed here, the innocent guy that didn't do anything today, was bumped off the curb, just walking up, had no idea what's going on. He was taken. He'll also be given the shot if he does. He'll be given the shot. Same with that lady. You're given this shot. You will not be released unless you take this shot.
Now I'm being told here that refusal would mean that they wouldn't let you back into the general population, presumably under the idea that you might be contagious with something of that nature. But I still don't understand why you were refused legal representation.
But I was not allowed. I was not read my rights. Nobody read their rights.
I'll get you.
Nobody was read their rights, which when I asked the magistrate about that, he said, "You're not charged yet until I make the give the probable cause, but I'm in cuffs, detained." So he used the word detained, but then after, not arrested. But then they read off the charges of putting me in jail and processing me. Again, I'm not read any sort of rights because I'm told in the Commonwealth of Virginia they don't have to. That's direct verbatim from the police officer and the magistrate that was on duty. They do not have to. Just like the alcohol. They don't have. I demanded a breathalyzer test. Demanded it. I asked nicely, was laughed at. Oh, we don't have to do that. The officer here said you're drunk. You're visibly upset. Well, upset and drunk are two different things. Take me to the breathalyzer test and I'll blow 0-0 right now. I'm not the judge. I don't take on any evidence. But wait, you listen as a checks and balances to the officer and the civilian. So I'm a civilian, no record. Another elderly gentleman, no record. Witness, 2 against 1. Officer makes up a fabricated story. He didn't hear us.
What was the officer's story?
The officer's story was, as I just told her, that I stepped in front of a vehicle. I looked over my shoulder and was told to move, get out of the way. I disregarded the order and stood right in front of the vehicle, and then they came up to grab me. When they grabbed me, I resisted, which is now disorderly conduct because they were trying to be nice. And then, as I'm being drug away, you get the 2 officers laughing, and they're, "Oh, you smell that alcohol? Woo! Got somebody intoxicated over here."
So what really happened, and what I witnessed at least, was that you were stepping across the street, taking some photos. You took 1 step backwards, and the police officer came up behind you, and then all of a sudden you were being detained, and it looked like you were being arrested.
They can get me for not moving if they stop you from moving. It's a catch-22. I knew it as soon as he was walking towards me. I'm not going to stop moving. I understand that. I told him that. You hear me on my own video saying, "Okay, just answer my question, sir. I'll keep moving, but answer my question. What is illegal about going corner to corner? Does a pedestrian have the right-of-way in the Commonwealth of Virginia?" As far as I know, that car has to stop and not use it to scare me out of the way, which was happening, and I got fed up with it because the police officers, if they're not going to do anything about vehicular assault, I'm going to document it, which again I have on video when my leg. Yelling, hey,
I
hey!
saw a gentleman that was almost hit by that last van. Was that you?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
what I thought.
So how am I standing in front of the car that came right by? You know, the van or whatever the heck it was, the SUV type. Not sure van SUV, but it was the big rig.
Yeah, it was.
Stepped off to the side, and that, like I said, when you see it on video, better than anything, you see the crowd shift, you see him look over, you see him pinwheel over. You know, again, I thought people were behind me. I was very, very sadly mistaken. They separate. That's the true snatch and grab.
Where will that video be uploaded to? Do you have that video?
Your video that you were taking.
My video, I'll put it on my Facebook. That's really the only. G.Cavet at Facebook. What's that? CAV as in Victor, ETT. But again, I know everything.
Go ahead and make it public so we can watch at least just the video. Don't make your whole Facebook public if it isn't already.
No.
But just make that video public so that we can share that. I also got video of what happened from beginning to end. I don't know how clear the quality is. I'll have to review. I haven't reviewed my footage yet, but if I do have anything, I'll definitely forward it.
Yes, I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that's here. Again, they're doing it to themselves. There's more media here than there's ever been coverage, and we got it all. We have it from the angles. We have, you know, exactly what they're doing wrong, why we're here. They're doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and like I told everybody, I understand what it means to have a mortgage and a car payment, taking care of your kids. It's not the right answer if you're trapped. If you're trapped, you're not living.
Have you talked to the Oath Keepers about this yet?
A little bit, not much. Again, I was very unfamiliar even with what the Oath Keepers were.
Exactly what they do.
See, and there you go. So I sat down a little bit, but the gentleman was in the middle of an interview. I didn't want to interrupt, and then it's just been back and forth madness with, as you see, with everybody. You know, everybody's really pumped up right now. Everybody's really happy that there's so many people here. I couldn't be happier. Like right now, again, from Oregon, for a reason, to see it for myself. And there you go, firsthand.
Where in Oregon are you from?
From Portland.
From Portland, me as well.
Really?
You're actually you're live on Occupy Portland right now. So.
Thank you. Thank you. My home state, I cannot believe it. Thank you. That's amazing.
Absolutely. So why did you come such a long way?
For every soldier that's trapped, for every police officer, because I do have a couple that are soldiers, they're citizen soldiers in the National Guard. You guys know who you are. I'm sorry. We know you're trapped. We know it's a system. The more of you that do what we're doing now, the better. That's why I'm here. It's just because it cost so much to get here. It cost everything we had. We were going to come 8 deep in a van. Couldn't afford to because people would have lost their jobs, which there goes their house. It's a system. It's a system where you don't do what you're told, you'll lose everything. There's a reason for it. It's control. It's just a solid control measure. The only reason I'm able to come is because the other people that covered down for me back in Portland, and I thank every one of you. You all know what you're doing right now to protect my interests, and I thank you. Thank every one of you for being there for me. All the phone calls last night with my phone being dead, the fact that every one of you knew that something happened that I didn't cause, that shows the utmost integrity and loyalty for all my fellow Oregonians that know me personally. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, and I wish you the best, and we'll swap some information.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Hopefully
Thank you very
keep
much.
in touch. I mean, you're from the hometown.
Yes,
so.
thank you very much for being here, too.
Thank you so much. I'm going to shake your hand, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so you guys heard it here. Taken down, arrested, told he was not under arrest, he was being detained, not read any rights, forcefully vaccinated and or tested somehow. That was one of the most disturbing reports I have heard in a very long time about an arrest at a protest. And this is a man who was literally crossing the street taking video, and I thought he was taking photos, but yeah, taking a video account at the time. So this is a citizen journalist just like myself, giving a forceful vaccination. You heard the report of him. God, I can't even imagine having an officer grope your genitals and stick his finger in your anus. That is rape. That is, there's no excuse for that.
Carrie, I have a question for you. I only saw one prick mark. Did you see 3 prick marks or 1 prick mark?
I only saw 1.
Okay, because generally the TB vaccine it's a small thing, it has 3 short needles you prick, and it's got 3.
I have gotten tuberculosis test twice before, and both times I had a single prick.
You did have a single
Yeah.
prick, okay.
So,
it's
but
possible that it was quote TV.
I want to say the area around the prick was red, and it looked not like when you're reacting to a TB test. If you don't react to a TB test, it's nothing. If you do react, it gets a bubble or a bump. And what I saw was looked like maybe a hives type of reaction.
That's what I would assess it too.
But it wasn't bumpy at all. It was
No,
very
it was
flat but red.
Yes, flat
So
red.
it was not consistent with what I am familiar with, and I've had tuberculosis tests. I also have looked it up extensively because I wanted to know what I should expect, and they give you some information when you get the test to know to come back in if X, Y, and Z happens. So I'm pretty familiar with that, and being charged with obstructing traffic, which he wasn't doing, but he was almost hit by that van. He jumped out of the way. Right. I know, and we got it on film. So that's just.
I'll highlight mine tonight as well.
Absolutely. We're going to go home and do some major work on this story. I just cannot believe just the brutality of it. What, 4 or more pat downs, one of which an officer's thumb was stuck into his anus. That's rape. There's no other way around it. That is rape.
And rape is about power and domination over another individual, and it would be consistent with that.
That's just so unfortunate. The fact that he's here and sharing his story and still here protesting is just a testament to everything that he stands for. It's just getting the truth out. I have a lot of respect for that gentleman. A lot of respect for that gentleman. I just can't even. So yes, he was charged with 3 things: disturbing the peace, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct, none of which he was guilty of. I watched the entire thing happen. I also got it on film. If somebody wants to go to my videos and try to find the arrest, I would be really grateful. Try to make a highlight and go ahead and highlight it right before the incident, so that everyone else can look at it. If that doesn't get done, I'll go ahead and do it myself tonight. But since I'm going to be streaming for quite a few more hours here, it'd be really great if one of you guys could do that. So yeah, I noticed there's a lot more of you joining right now. So you just missed a great account of what happened from the gentleman himself. It was not an eyewitness account this time. It was the man himself who was arrested yesterday from Oregon. And he was arrested, threatened, groped, given a forced vaccination, which he had a prick on his arm and a red spot around it. He said he felt ill. He started to dry heave after that. Yeah, you guys are hilarious. Yes, they forced a vaccine on him. They threatened him, telling him that he would not be receiving a phone call. He would not get legal representation. He would be locked in a cell for an unknown period of time because they didn't know when his court date was set for, and that he would be. Yes, I know. I realize. You're right. I should not be saying vaccination. He was given what was called a tuberculosis test. But essentially, his arm was pricked with a needle without his consent, and consistent with with the tuberculosis tests that I have seen. When your arm is pricked for TB, you either don't react at all, or you get a bump or a bubble, something that does not look consistent with what his arm looks like. His arm looks like there's a rash, a small rash around the area. So, still very disturbing. And he was denied legal counsel. He was told he was not under arrest. So that's just really, really scary. I find it interesting that out of 3 arrests, 2 yesterday and 1 today, oh no, I'm sorry, 2 yesterday and 2 today, we have at least 2 confirmed journalists. So half of those being arrested were journalists, very clearly doing their jobs. the one gentleman that you heard just a moment ago, the vet. Yes, I'm reading your comments here. Those. I sort of fear for the two that were arrested today. I also heard that the gentleman, the other gentleman that was arrested, Eric, I didn't catch his last name, but you guys heard it earlier. He was also given that test and or vaccination. I've never heard of that. I've been to a lot of protests. I've definitely heard of a lot of people getting arrested for different things in the protest, and no matter what the charges, I've never heard of someone getting, a finger in the anus or being vaccinated against their will. So, or given some kind of needle in the arm, be what it may, against their will. Yeah. We have some viewers here saying they've been arrested without ever giving a shot. Really disturbing. So I'm going to turn off my backup here. Store that interview. So I'm at an hour here in time. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this video to make sure it's there for your viewing pleasure in the future. Make sure I don't lose the video, and I will be back in merely seconds. Okay. So. I hope so. I hope that this guy is able to. How many people are there right now? Right now, it's pouring cats and dogs, and we broke for lunch right now, so I would say maybe 100 or so. But earlier in the day, there were several hundred. And later on, in a few hours, there will also be more people returning for the 7 o'clock action. So, all right. So, yes, he already wrote it down. He will need it later for court. They definitely, I'm going to be posting my video I just took of the interview on YouTube. So if you guys want to check it out later, it's going to be on my YouTube page, PSU Carrie Ray. So that's P as in Peter, SU CARRIERAE. And that's my YouTube video, and I will be putting that up, and it'll be in much higher resolution than the video that you're watching now, since we are streaming live. And that is my wonderful little waterproof camera that I got on as well. So anyways, I'm going to upload this so you guys can watch it later and put in some highlights if you feel like it. I will put in Bilderberg Day 1 Arrest Record as probably the title of the vid. So yes, it's the veteran that got the injection. Okay, so I will be back in just a few seconds.